Hey friends, so today we are going to be trying out a bunch of the new makeup that I just picked up during the Ulta member savings event. If you haven't already seen that video, you can head over to my main page and check it out because I'm going to go ahead and just jump into this. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and kick things off with some of this Maybelline Grippy Serum Primer. First impression, this is a lot runnier than I was expecting it to be, but it does feel very thin and very hydrating on the skin. Hopefully it's going to help with the longevity of my makeup. That is the ultimate goal at the end of the day. So I went ahead and let that sit on my skin for just a couple of minutes and we are tacky, we are hydrated, we are ready for some foundation. Now I did not pick up a new one, so I'm just going to go in with my L'Oreal True Match. Put a little bit on the back of my hand. So I'm just going to apply this to my skin with my Refer spatula brush. I'm going to go ahead and pounce this in with a damp beauty sponge. I'm going to pop on a little bit of my Morphe under eye brightener. And in the outer corners, I'm going to go in with a little bit of my Colphy concealer. So while that kind of sits and marinates under my eyes, we're going to go in with bronzer, and I'm going to use the Morphe Bronzing Duo in the shade Maui Surf. This is what she looks like right here. I'm really excited about the tone of this. So I'm going to go ahead and start with the cream, and I'm just going to pick up some of that on my Smashbox brush right here. This is a foundation brush, but I just love the way that this applies cream products, especially a cream bronzer. So I'm just going to go ahead and go along my perimeter, up on my forehead. I kind of do like a bronze tour moment. I don't do like a full contour. I don't do a full bronzer. I kind of do like two birds, one stone. Okay, so this is beautiful. I am really loving the tone of this bronzer. I'm loving the consistency of it. It's very easy to blend out. It's not super pigmented to where I feel like I have to go in really light-handed, and it's building up in the places that I want it to. I'm going to take a little bit just right here down the side of my nose to give me a little added shape. Blend that out really good. I like to kind of softly contour my lips as well. Real quick before we move on to blush, I'm going to go ahead and blend out my color corrector and my concealer. I just like to blend the two together. I love a brighter inner corner, but I don't like it to be super bright out here. And to blend this out, I'm using a BK Beauty Nikki LaRose N16 brush. I love this brush for blending out concealer. It doesn't make it patchy, streaky. It's just so soft, and I love like that little point that just kind of gets in there. Real quick, I'm going to take what's left on my brush and just kind of go right here around my nose, kind of right here on my forehead. I'm not adding any extra product. I'm just bringing in a little extra brightness. For blush, we're going to go in with one of the Colourpop blush sticks. This is in the shade Love to See It. Now, I'm not the type of person that likes to swipe a blush directly on my cheek, so I'm just going to warm it up on the back of my hand, give me something to kind of work off of. I'm just going to pick up some of that blush with one of the new Morphe M205 brushes. I actually got these during like my first mini haul of the Ulta sale, and I love these brushes. They're absolutely beautiful. But wow, that is a pigmented blush. Definitely more pigmented than I expected, but it is shearing out really nicely. It's not lifting any of the product underneath. But let's see if I can build it up just a little bit more without it getting patchy or starting to move things around. Okay, so this looks absolutely beautiful on the cheeks. I love how it blended out. I love how it's laying. It definitely looks hydrated and dewy. Don't worry, I am going to set this face. Even though I have dry leaning skin, I live in a very hot, humid climate, so I cannot get away with not setting my face in summer. Before I start setting this face, I'm just going to pat out any kind of creasing I already have going on under my eyes. We don't want to set that into place. And then to set my under eyes, I'm going to go in with my Pat McGrath Blurring Under Eye Powder. This is in the shade Baby Pink, and this is a holy grail under eye powder for me. I have tried several others. I went through a total freak out whenever Pat McGrath went bankrupt. I was like, oh my gosh, they're gonna discontinue my powder. I need to buy it up, and it was sold out everywhere. I do now have several backups of this powder, but I just love it. It is so smoothing under my eyes. It never cakes up. It never looks crepey. It has like the tiniest bit of sheen to it, but it just looks beautiful under my eyes. Truly, there is not another powder that I have found that performs the same under my eyes as this one. Okay, under eyes are set. They are looking blurred. They are looking smooth. And for the rest of the face, I'm going to go in with the L'Oreal Infallible Blurfection powder. This is in the shade Translucent translucent light. So I just went ahead and sprinkled some in the cap, and what I'm gonna do is I am going to pick up my puff. Yes, I still have my Tati Beauty puff. I love this thing. I will be heartbroken the day that she quits working on me. But I'm just going to pick some up on my puff, kind of press it into my hand, and we are just going to start pressing this into my skin. I am really excited about this. I'm hoping it's blurring, but it's not heavy, it's not dry, and it just locks my makeup in place. Before I set the other half of my face with this powder, I just wanted to show you how blurred and perfected this side of my face looks. It definitely took down the shine of everything, but I don't feel like it looks flat. It doesn't look matte, dry, cakey, anything like that. I think it looks absolutely beautiful. So I'm gonna go ahead and set the other half of my face. Okay, so next I'm gonna go back into my bronzer. This is a Morphe M163 brush from the new set. I'm gonna tap it off a little bit, and I'm just going to kind of bring that bronzer back to life. I'm just gonna kind of lightly tap along the perimeter, and then I'll go back in and buff it out. Okay, I didn't pick up any new powder blushes, so I am just going in with one of the CoverGirl Baked blushes. This is in the shade Rose Latte, and I'm just applying that with my Revi Beauty blush brush. Ooh, these are so pretty. I love the luminosity that they have to them. I love the pigmentation. These definitely give Hourglass a run for their money. Real quick, I'm gonna go in with the Morphe finishing powder. I have mine in the lightest shade, and I love this because it's just going to bring a little bit of luminosity back to my skin, kind of blend everything together, take away those harsh lines, and just really make my skin look like skin again. And real quick before we jump into eyes, I'm gonna go in with the new About Face highlighting pearls. I have mine in Ballet Beam, and I love these. They are so beautiful on the skin. I do love a really good glowy highlighter. Like, I am not here for subtlety. I want to glow. I want to be seen from outer space. I want my cheek to pop, and look at that. Oh my gosh, it just gives the most beautiful wet glass-like effect to the skin, and it's kind of like a cream to powder, so it definitely has a more creamy texture, but it sets down. It doesn't lift anything up. I have not had any issues putting this on over powder. Okay, so brows are done. I did fill them in with the Morphe Nano Brow Pencil, and I'm gonna go ahead and throw on a little bit of brow gel real quick. This is the Rare Beauty Brow Gel. This is an absolute holy grail for me. I did have a moment in time where I was really loving the Ardell Brow Glue, but my issue with that is I felt like I was repurchasing that way more often than I did with this because it dries out really fast, and when it dries out, it starts to turn kind of clumpy and white, and you can really see that cast in my brows, whereas I don't get that from this, and this will last me for literal months. I'm going to prime my eyes with my MAC Paint Pot in the shade Painterly. Okay, so for the eyes, we are going to go in with the Morphe Underslated Eyeshadow Palette. I decided to go with this one today because it is a newer launch from the brand, and I am wearing navy blue today, so I wanted something a little bit more cool tone. But we're gonna go ahead and dive into this palette. So I'm gonna start with this middle shade right here. This is called Comfort Zone. I'm going to pick that up with a BK Beauty 201 brush, and I'm just gonna start kind of fluffing this into my crease, not bringing it up super high, but just kind of blending it, buffing it, laying it down as a transition. With that same brush, I'm gonna go into this shade right here, which is called Blank Slate. I'm just gonna tap it off, and I'm just gonna go right along the brow bone and the edge of that first shade, just to kind of buff it out, blend it out a little bit, and take away any harsh lines. With an Alter Ego 204 brush, I'm going to go into this shade over here, which is called Cashmere Only, and I'm just going to start to build up my outer corner just a little bit. I'm going to take this maybe halfway across and then just kind of blend it up into that first shade that I put down. And I'm going to take a little bit of that same shade down onto my lower lash line, again bringing it about halfway across. Going back in with just a little bit more of that first shade that I used, same brush that I used with it, and I'm just going to sweep this right along my lower lash line, kind of buffing it out, blending it, making sure that it's not harsh, and then doing the same up on my lid as well. With a Morphe M506 brush, I'm going to take a little bit of this black shade called Paired Black, and I'm just going to put it right here in the very outer corner of my lid. I like to have just that darker outer corner, a little bit of drama. I think it kind of lifts my eyes a little bit, and it's very flattering. And again, bringing that down into the very outer corner of my lower lash line as well, just kind of connecting the two right here. Lastly, with this palette, I'm going to take a BK Beauty 207 brush. I'm going to go into this white shade over here called Blank Slate, and I'm just going to pop this right here in the inner corner of my lid just to give a little bit of pop, a little bit of contrast, and then we're going to go in with the Jelly Matte Shadow from Colourpop. So I do think this eye look is absolutely beautiful right where it is, but I want to throw on a little bit of my Colourpop Jelly Matte Shadow Stick that I picked up. This is in the shade Diamond Girl, and I think it's going to add just a really pretty kind of pop of sparkle all over the lid. So I'm just going to pick it up with my finger. I'm not going to go directly on my lid because I don't want to lift anything. I don't want to move anything. I don't want it to be super chunky, and I am just going to tap this on the center of my lid. Ooh, that is really, really pretty. I love how sparkly it is. It has that little bit of blue reflect, which is going to go really well with what I'm wearing today. And I'm just going to add a little bit more, build it up, and kind of scatter it up onto my brow bone. Oh my gosh, I love that added sparkle. I think it turned out absolutely beautiful. Okay, before I do liner, mascara, lips, and all of that, we're gonna go ahead and set this face of makeup. So I'm gonna go in with the Morphe Life Proof Continuous Setting Mist. So I'm just gonna kind of get my hair back out of the way, shake her up a little bit, and we're gonna spray. Okay, so I love the way that that went on my skin. It felt very soft, very cooling, refreshing, very light mist. I don't feel like my skin is drenched. It kind of brought everything back to life and gave me a little bit of luminosity. Obviously, it's not dried down yet, so we'll see what that does. But I'm gonna go ahead and throw on a little bit of liner, a lippy, and then we'll come back and we'll try on the new Maybelline Sky Tubes mascara. All right, y'all, the time has come to try out the Maybelline Sky Tubes mascara. I am so incredibly excited about this. I have been looking for a really good, affordable tubing mascara, and I've heard really good things about this one. So let me go ahead and curl my lashes really quick. All right, first coat, here we go. All right, so this is what we are looking like with one coat of the mascara on this eye. I can definitely see a lot of length. I can see a little bit of volume. It's not clumpy. I don't feel like it's heavy on my lashes, so hopefully it won't weigh them down. I'm gonna give this just a second and I'm gonna add a second coat. All right, second coat, here we go. This is where things usually go a little wonky for me because not all tubing mascaras build up really well, but a good one absolutely will. I wouldn't recommend going in with like 3 or 4 coats, but you should be able to do a good solid 2 coats. Okay, y'all, what do we think? I think it looks absolutely beautiful. I don't think it's clumpy. It still doesn't feel heavy. It layered up on itself really, really nicely. Now, keep in mind, it wasn't 100% dry when I went in with that second coat. So I kind of waited long enough to where it wasn't like fresh on my lashes, but not completely dried down. But I'm gonna go ahead and do my other eye, and then I will come back and show you the completed look. All right, y'all, so this is the completed look, and I think it turned out absolutely beautiful. I'm loving every single one of the new products that I tried on today. I mean, the makeup is definitely makeuping, and I am not disappointed at all. I'm so excited I get to wear this for the rest of the day. But of course, I do still have some other new products that I picked up that we need to try on, so stay tuned for another video. But until then, let me know all of your thoughts down below, and I will see y'all in the next one.